ब्रह्मरूपा सरस्वती ब्रह्मरूपा सरस्वती. May the goddess Saraswati, who is always praised by the students and teachers of Vedanta and by scholars of the Vedas, may she reside on the tip of my tongue, she who is nothing other than Brahman. Is the translation of this morning's small prayer. Yesterday we covered some ground on just a 1-2 sentence recap, so we can now begin on the same page. Yesterday we covered some ground on understanding why this knowledge is the most important knowledge of all. And the reason for that is because it is the knowledge of oneself as Bhagavan, God. We also saw why this knowledge cannot be gained by oneself. And the reason for that is because it is not an object. It's not knowledge of an object. So many objects in the world, like object, table, object, cup, object, glass, object, room, object, windows, doors, object. Other bodies in the rooms, objects. I, not an object, subject. The subject cannot know itself because it is the only thing in the world that cannot be objectified. So therefore, there is no other thing to say except help. The help that is sought is from a sound lineage, a lineage that does not distort the words of the Upanishads, words that declare that you and the Maker, the Creator, are essentially one. Relatively may be different from the standpoint of the body, mind, sense complex. I can say I am a devotee and Lord Krishna is the object of my devotion. But essentially speaking, there is no difference. And that essential non-difference is going to be the subject matter of this talk. And later we will see how to bridge this gap that I feel in the daily life. Often, what brings us to Vedanta is a sense of lack, is a sense of discontent centered on the self, centered on the I. No matter what one does, there is always a lack. I'm not big enough. I'm not famous enough. Of course, I'm never rich enough. I'm not happy enough. I don't have enough possessions. Nobody loves me. I don't have lovable people who love me in my life. And to add insult to injury, people don't love me even though I love them. This is also. This is what in the Shastra is called samsara. Best translation of samsara is some sorrow or the other, always connected to the I, always sad. Once I had to introduce a Swami in some interfaith meeting. They came and said, "Can you please introduce this Swami?" I said, "Sure. What is his name?" It was somewhere in Spain. And they said, we looked at a piece of paper and said, Sadananda, American. And American person. I said, no, it must not be Sadananda. What was it? Sadananda. Always Anand. And so this sadness centered on the I, a series of disappointments, a series of not being able to fulfill my desires no matter how much and in how many ways I try, leads me to seek solutions outside of myself. I can no longer operate within the same rubric that is destroying the very foundation of who I am. I have to look for the solution outside. This is one of the paradoxes of Vedanta. What is inside is outside, what is outside is inside. This is the message. Yet what do? We have to seek help. We have to look for answers by seeking help. And this is when there is a turn. It's a U-turn, meaning it's you who is turning back to yourself. Y-O-U, U-turn. That is the turn. It's a very auspicious moment when I see that the solutions I have to look for as myself, within myself. And to commemorate this, in India, whenever the river appears to sometimes turn back to its source, coming from the north, let's say, and it looks like it's turning back because there is a mountain or something. It's not really turning back, it just is trying to avoid a big boulder or a mountain, and then it will glow to the ocean. But then, when it appears to turn back to itself, it becomes a site of pilgrimage. Everybody comes and prays to the Mother Goddess in the form of the river. Please give me the Vairagya, the Viveka, the discrimination, the dispassion, to be able to turn to myself. Spirituality begins when we can stop blaming others and when we can stop blaming ourselves. These are the twin foundations of what we call spiritual awakening. Otherwise, life is not fun. Always the finger is moving and pointing. It's this one's fault. I am at the ashram, it's wonderful. Why is this idiot come? This person is not fit to be here. Why is this person here? Why is that person? I don't get along with this person. I don't get along with that person. It's because of their problems. And of course, the other person is also thinking the same of ourselves. In Coimbatore, in South India, we have a huge ashram where long-term courses in all the Upanishads, along with Shankara's philosophy, is taught over a period of 3 years. And usually there are 80, 90, maybe 100 people who live with 99 other people for 3 meters is a big feat. And once my Guru was asked a question during the Q&A hour. He was asked a very interesting question. Somebody asked, Swamiji, why are there so many paths to the temple? You can go from here, you can go from above, you can go from below, you can go this side, you can go 6, 7 paths. And the person who asked the question was hoping that Swamiji will come out with some kind of a profound, what should I say, figurative explanation of why there are so many paths to the temple. Swamiji, who was always very witty, said immediately, without blinking an eye, he said, many paths are leading to the temple, so that if you encounter somebody on the path that you cannot get along with, you immediately change course and take the other route. So that your own raga, dvesha, strong preferences and strong prejudices, you don't take it out on God by staying away from the temple. So, like this, we come to the ashram, to the spiritual quest, humbled and out of all options. This is a very, very good place to be. When I am humbled and out of all options, that means I am teachable. That means I am receptive. Like a drowning person who is given a rope. That time the person is not choosing. Are you sure this rope is strong enough? The person will not say. Are you sure it won't be frayed by the time I come up? The person will not say. Why? There are no other options. Are you strong enough to pull me up? The person in the well will not say. The drowning person grabs onto whatever there is and whatever one is offered. And the Upanishad is like a rope for the person drowning in samsara. This is the beauty. And just the way that I receive the rope with a gratitude, oh, thank you, Bhagavan. Something is come to help me out of this. That's why I say drowning, present continuous. Because if it is drowned, then we don't talk about it, nothing to talk about. So, samsara is that feeling of drowning. And suddenly, some prarabdha changes, and then I come up again. And then and then I come up again. This is exactly what is at stake. So that sentiment that this rope will get me out of my own mental projections, my own subjectivity, which is the cause of sorrow, my own pains, my own intractable desires. That attitude, that confidence, that trust is called Shraddha, which is a very, 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 very important, crucial qualification of the prospective student who is open to this knowledge, who is about to receive this knowledge. Just think about the rope or the drowning person, and similarly the Upanishad is the rope, and I have to accept it with complete trust, which is very difficult to achieve. Why? Because the whole life has been a breach of trust. As a child, perhaps one had Shraddha, trust. because total helplessness. When we are born, we are worse off than animals. We don't have any independence. The baby giraffe, the baby elephant. If you are watching the National Geographic videos, soon after they are born, they wake up, get up, start walking with the herd. But the human baby needs care for a long time. Cannot even flip over, cannot even ask for food. Same cry, or hunger, or nappy change, or stomach ache. Parents have to do some guesswork, especially if it's the first baby. What is this? What does the child mean? Again, the total helplessness of the human baby is compensated by total trust. And soon the child begins to adore its makers, local caregivers. Mother, father, foster mother, foster father, whoever is the primary caregiver. In the mind of the child, who is now perhaps 6, 7 months old, this is God, Goddess, Creator, Creatrix of my universe. This is my Bhagavan, this is my Bhagavati. They can walk. I can't walk. They can talk. I can't talk. And they somehow seem to know when I need comforting, when I need food. They must be Sarvajna, all-knowing they must be. The child comes to this conclusion. It grows up in this kind of its own projection, really. Are the primary caregivers God? Not really. They are fallible people. They make mistakes. The mother who is harassed sees the crying baby and says, "Shut up," after she has attended to it for 4 hours. Keep quiet. The father, loving but inconsistent, now here, now gone, like a magician. And they are not infallible. They are very much fallible, very much within the rubric of samsara. Yet the child has a projection, a favorable projection, which is allowed by Bhagavan, because otherwise it cannot grow up. It has to have that total trust. Then what happens to the total trust? It is broken after a couple of years. As the child grows up, it understands a few things. What does it see? Well, these people also make mistakes. And one day, the 2-year-old sees a cockroach. Here I don't think you have cockroaches, but in India they are this big, and suddenly they start flying. Even adults are scared of them, what to talk of children. The child sees the cockroach, screams, because it has never seen anything like this. It doesn't know what this is. Scared. Runs to the mother. Mom, look. Catches hold of her clothes. The mother takes one look at the cockroach, leaving the child where it is, climbs onto the dining table. The child is left with, "Oh my God, they are not here for me." Child then cries out to the father. The father is in the other room, doesn't even come here. He tells, "Let's call pest control." Still leaving the child right there. breach of trust has to happen as the child grows up and learns they are not infallible. So the primary caregivers in the mind of the child become what? Primary caregivers. This is a naturally universal development. Sigmund Freud called this the development of the unconscious mind, which is the storehouse of all kinds of pains, unfulfilled, and might I add, unfulfillable desires, sorrow, difficulties, all there. But it is called the unconscious mind because it is Bhagavan's Srishti, Ishvara Srishti, Bhagavan's manifestation, creation. And it is Ishvara's creation because right there is the key to the child growing up. The unconscious mind remains hidden from the child until it grows up completely. And finally, the adult is in a relationship where one can dare to trust again. Sometimes it can be an intimate relationship, a friendship, marriage, because marriage means there is commitment. You know that somebody is committed, and immediately the feelings arise of unsafety. But really, it is not unsafety of the present. It's the unsafety of the past which the child could not feel. This is an important component of samsara, where we walk around with distrust and non-safety all the time. This is a travesty. That unsafety leads to insecurity centered on the I. One is always walking on shells of the eggshells. Afraid to do this, afraid to do that, afraid to go here, afraid of being wrong, afraid of being blamed. Afraid, period. And therefore, the ashram life is a very good place to regain the lost trust, the shraddha that was lost at age 2, 3, or perhaps 4. Psychologists say that 0 to 4 is the time where the unconscious is developed, 0 to 4 years. How to regain this shraddha? How to understand this? There are a few things we have to see. We will be seeing that now and in the evening satsang also. One thing is to dare to trust again. Remember the example of the rope and the drowning person. The drowning woman or man, when offered the rope, even though they may not like the person who is offering the rope, will still take the rope. Similarly, one takes the Upanishad at the heart and sees it as the right choice. So many things in the world attract. They are all not I, not I, not I, not I, not I. objects, 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 objects. Yet I am attracted to them because I mistake them for the infinite, which can only be myself. When I mistake the finite for the infinite, samsara ensues. This is what happens. There is a story that is told in Zen Buddhism. The student goes to the teacher with a choice gift. Very happy with the teacher, wants to make the teacher happy and takes a prize gift of a bone china, very fine china mug along with a lid. Master, this is for you. The master doesn't even take the gift. Master looks and says, "Oh, my dear fellow, this is broken." "What?" "No, it's not broken. You're not seeing it properly. Look, it's broken." And the student looks underneath the bar, looks at the lid, opens the lid, looks underneath, looks everywhere. He does not see even as much as a crack, let alone any break. "No, no, master, it is fine. Please receive, please take. Please bless this gift. Please receive this gift." Master again says, "It is broken." Since the student had Shraddha, the student thinks, maybe this is a lesson for me. And then he understands that what the master was seeing was the future of the cup. The future of the teacup is what? Broken. Future of everything that is an object is what? Broken. What about this body? Is it object or subject? Object, very good. Broken. Jatasya hi dhruvam mrityuhu dhruvam janma mritasya cha tasmad apariharyedhe natvam shochitum arhasi. Arjuna is told, the one that is born. For the one that is born, what is born? One means not I. One means the body, mind, sense, complex. That which has complexes centered on the self. This is what is born. For that which is born, death is certain. For that which is gone, birth is certain. Therefore, O Arjuna, where is the sorrow? Everything that I encounter is the world of finitude. Yet lifetime after lifetime, janma after janma after janma is gone in the useless pursuit of trying to make the finite infinite. Can you ever succeed? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. It's like taking a small stone and pressing it hard and hoping you'll get some oil out of it. Not possible. Finite is finite. Infinite is infinite. And so therefore, I waste my time, life after life after life, not knowing the difference between subject, infinite, objects, finite. I try to look for the forever in each and everything. In India, somebody says to somebody, My son, my daughter got a job. Oh, congratulations. Is it permanent? It's not about the job. What is about it? Permanence. Oh, I have purchased a house. Before I was renting. Now this house is mine. This too is an illusion. The house belongs to the bank, okay? You are just paying the, what is it? Mortgage. Mort means death, okay? Yeah. So this is what it is. For 30 years, the house is not yours. But this is the feeling. Now it is mine. Permanent. Spouse. Permanent. That's why even in the fourth marriage vows, they will say, this time it is forever. What about the other 3 times? Let's not talk of inauspicious things. This time it must be forever. We look for the forever in everything. But the world of objects, alluring as they are not forever. By nature, they get destroyed by 3 forces. They can self-destruct. Just by keeping something as it is on a shelf, it can self-destruct. This is what we see when we do excavations of ancient civilizations. Things are just self-destructive. Nobody took an axe to the pottery or anything like that. But the elements, age, everything, it has self-destruct. Or it can be acted upon by other forces. That is the cause of the destruction. Or it can be acted upon by other things in the same species, like the snake eating its own eggs. What a beautiful world of Bhagavan. Instant population control of venomous things. Snake lays 6 eggs, eats 3, and then out of the 3, maybe 2 are hatched and 1 is gone. This way Bhagavan makes sure of very few things that are there that can harm us. Back to the finite world, and no matter how much we try to elongate the finite, we can stay Lord Yama. You know Lord Yama? Bhagavan, God of death, Lord Yama. We can make Lord Yama wait for a little while. One day, he will come for this body. And if one starts to do yoga, Yama thinks, oh, coffee break. I think I'll go to Celestial Starbucks and then wait there. If you start to do pranayama also, this is how the ancient rishis tried to stave off death by learning to breathe once every minute like a reptile. But still, it's a 10-year lease of life, maybe a 5-year lease of life. If you become vegetarian, maybe even vegan, few more years of lease of life. One day, the heart will give way. One day, the mind will give way. Senses will give way. In fact, every organ is meant for whatever it is supposed to do, but for a little while. The heart is meant to have an attack. It's the only thing that can have an attack. And then The kidneys are supposed to fail at some point or the other. Even though this body is crafted intelligently, it has an expiry date. The mind has an expiry date. The senses have an expiry date. And so therefore, this knowledge cannot be found, or the satisfaction I seek, the help that I seek, the forever that I seek, cannot ever, 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 ever be found in the world of the finite. Because it is the infinite that is looking for the infinite. Very, very interesting. It is the infinite I who is looking for the infinite, like a mad person. The saint Kabir, very wonderful saint from medieval India, he used to compose 2-line poems on Vedanta, short, pithy poems. One of them went like this. लहरी ढूंढे लहर को, कपड़ा ढूंढे सूत, जीव ढूंढे ब्रह्म को, तीनों ऊत के ऊत. The wave, my dear friends, is looking for the ocean. Ocean, where are you? Ocean, please give me darshan. Where are you? I miss you. And meanwhile, elsewhere, the shirt is looking for the fabric. Cloth, where are you? You are my source. I wish to do namaskar. I wish to pay homage. Where are you, my dear cloth? Or we can take the example of the cloth. Cloth also is looking for its god, the yarn. Oh yarn, where are you? And we smile at these examples. We can say, oh, that's so foolish, but the wave is looking for the ocean. How can the shirt be away from the fabric? In fact, there is nothing called shirt. It is in fact nothing other than fabric. How can the pot be away from clay? How can the golden chain, bangle, be away from gold? How can the ornament, can the ornament have any distance from the gold? We can see. But the last example that Kabir gives, the saint poet gives is Jiva Dhonde Brahma Ko. In the similar way, the Jiva is looking for Brahman. And he concludes, Ud ke Ud, all three of them. There are the three, the wave that is looking for the ocean, the shirt that is looking for the fabric, and the jaded and faded, ragged Jiva, the individual who is looking for Brahman, Ishvara, God. All three of them are fools among fools. This is the beauty of Vedanta. The seeker and the sought are one. This is what has to be understood. And the Taittiriya Upanishad makes this very, very, very clear. It starts with a big bang, goes straight to the point. Whereas in the Kathopanishad there is a story. We fall in love with young Nachiketa, who goes to Lord Yama for instruction. In many of the chapters of the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad also there is the stories. Stories of Gargi, a sage, and Yajnavalkya, a sage, and their dialogue. Many Upanishads have these dialogues and stories. But the Taittiriya Upanishad gets straight to the point. Om Brahmavida apnoti param tadeshabhyukta satyam jnananantam brahma yo veda nihitam guhayam parame vyoman सोऽश्नुते सर्वान् कामान् सः ब्रह्मणा विपश्चिदेति. These are the beginning, opening words of the Taittiriya Upanishad. Om, sound of God, sound of blessing. Brahmavit, apnoti param. The knower of Brahman gains the ultimate. Oh, really? All I have to do is know Brahman and I gain the ultimate? It's like Apple advertising a new iPhone is out. What number it is, I don't know anymore. 15? 15? Yeah, 15. 15 is already out. No, we should say 16. Okay. So let's say iPhone 16 is out. There is a mad rush. They are very clever. They will say limited quantities. If you want it today, you have to come just now. I was in a meeting in New York. And we had to go from one place to another. It was an interfaith meeting. And then there was a Buddhist Sangha that had invited us to have the rest of the meeting on the other side of town. A bus had been engaged. There were about 20 people who had to be transported from one place to another. Apple was having a major announcement and a major event and releasing something I forgot. Who cares to remember? And it was releasing something in limited quantities. So the bus, which was supposed to come from wherever it was, could not come to take us. The bus driver called and said, there is so much traffic. I cannot come. Then we had to find some cab drivers and then go in 5 or 6 cabs to the place. And still we were caught in traffic. So much for the iPhone. So many people for the iPhone. Nobody for the I without the phone. That's why they said it, because the word I is in everything. iPhone, iMac, what else? iPad. If it is not there, iMad. This is what happens. This is the problem. Back to the Taittiriya Upanishad. Brahmavit apnoti param. So, the knower of Brahman gains the ultimate. Now there is a desire. What is this ultimate? What is this Brahman? Kim tat Brahman? What is this Brahman? And the answer is given. Brahman is Satyam. Don't worry about the words, just listen to the words. We will have plenty of time to translate them and look at it. Satyam simply means is. Brahman is. Jnanam, it is of the nature of knowledge. Not knowledge of something. Where again there is the knower-known divide. It is the knowledge which is. Oh, we'll say later. Right now it's such as Jnana. And then Anantam. forever. This is Brahman. And then it says, gives a promise. Yo Veda, the one who understands this and assimilates this knowledge. Yo Veda, where? Vihitam Guhayam, the one who understands this in the cave of the heart. Why is the heart called a cave? Because it is dark, filled with all kinds of fearful objects, banks of doubt, stalactites and stalagmites of despair and fear. No source of light, eclipsed by one's own subjectivity. And it is how the Indian temples are. If you go to ancient temples, you enter, no artificial lights in the traditional temples. Go there. In fact, you don't even have to go there. People behind you make sure you enter by pushing you in. And you stand there. Meenakshi temple in Madurai. Beautiful goddess temple. You stand there blinking because it's just all dark. Walls are black stone. And the goddess is also made of black stone, monolith. The pujari means priest, being from South India is also dark. Standing there, you don't see him either. Everything is dark. Then finally, he lights a camphor lamp, then takes it to show the goddess, please have darshan. Om natatra suryo bhavina chandra tarakam nema vidyato bhanti kato yamagnihi tameva bhantam bhati sarvam tasya bhasha sarvamidam vibhati. There the sun does not shine. What to talk of the moon or the stars or any fire? Oh, Bhagavan's home must be a dark place. No? It is self-lit, it is well lit. It is that light of lights. Jyotisham api tad jyotihi. Light of all lights, the light of consciousness, the light of awareness that I call myself. That is what essentially is Bhagavan, to whom I dare to show this small camphor light. Camphor is used so that because it burns without leaving a residue. Similarly, my dense self-ignorance, which has morphed into various projections, may that also disappear when the light of knowledge lights up the goddess within. Then what happens? So when the goddess is lit up within this dark cave, and I was looking for the goddess everywhere, I was looking for Bhagavan everywhere, but he is here, she is here, right here. Then what happens? We'll find out tonight. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnam Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhava Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.